Oh yeah, the invasion is over. The 6th episode, the finale of Secret Invasion, has dropped on Disney+, so let's talk about this. And let's include some spoilers too, that is a spoiler warning. If you have not watched Secret Invasion in its entirety and you plan on it, I warn you, do not watch this video, because I'm gonna be talking about what happens in this finale and ruining it for you. If you have watched it all or you don't care, welcome back. Alright, let's dive into this here. I'm gonna start off with the scene where Fury goes to see Gravik. He goes into New Skrullos, he goes into the lab with Harvest in hand, and this is where we get the scene where we really learn everything about Gravik and his motives. We learn that the face he uses all the time, the one he stole, is that of the first person he killed as ordered by Nick Fury. I do like that poetry. Although I gotta say, when he really starts yelling at Fury and spilling all his motives and what he's gonna do, his big plan, I ultimately came to the conclusion that Gravik as a whole, I gotta say he's a pretty weak villain. Cause really he just comes off as whiny above everything else. He's just mad at Nick Fury for not fulfilling his promise. Which, yeah, of course I get that motive. And also I thought Kingsley Ben-Adir as an actor was really good. But just compared to other MCU villains that have been really good, Gravik does fall on the weaker side, at least in my opinion. Although we do finally learn why Nick Fury did not keep his promise. He says that initially he did try to find other planets for the Skrulls, but after not too long he knew that there would be no other planet for them but Earth. But then he didn't introduce the Skrulls to Earth and get them situated because, in his words, it's easier to save the lives of 8 billion people than it is to change their hearts and minds. Basically, he decided that humanity wasn't yet ready for the confirmation of extraterrestrial life out there. Alright, so I guess he knew that the Skrulls wouldn't have been able to accept that reasoning, so he just kept quiet. Meaning he probably should have known that this was going to come back to bite him in the ass one day. Yeah, he probably knew. And so Fury gives the harvest to Gravik. And yeah, sure enough, this one vial, it's got everyone. We see a bunch of names on that computer screen. We see Thor, Winter Soldier, Captain Marvel, Drax, Gamora, Thanos. Holy shit. Weird thing though is when I was frame by framing it, I saw that it said Abomination on there. I was like, wait a minute, Abomination wasn't in the Battle of Earth, right? That's what the harvest is. It's the DNA of everyone who was in the Battle of Earth. That doesn't include Abomination, so that's weird. Must have been a slip up on the writer's part. And so Gravik turns on the machine, and they both get infused with all sorts of superpowers, which yeah, at first, I was like, Nick Fury getting superpowers? I don't think I like that. But as it turns out, oh, it's Gaia! Yup, turns out that was Gaia the whole time in this scene. And so now we have 2 Super Skrulls and we get a big Super Skrull fight, which I thought was pretty awesome, not gonna lie. That is, if you aren't reminded of the final fight scene in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yeah, I kinda was a little bit. This is still pretty cool though. I mean, they use Groot arms and Korg arms and Hulk arms. They changed their arms a lot. Ebony Maw powers. I'll admit though, a couple of times I was like, that looks a little weird visually. Like Gaia with the Drax arm, I'm like, that doesn't look proportionally correct. Where did the budget go? Coolest part, of course, was when they go all Captain Marvel and start fighting in the air. That shit was awesome. And this is cool too. The fight ends with Gaia shooting a photon blast hole through Gravik. I was like, whoo, alright, good luck recovering from that with Extremis. Yeah, that's not happening. So yeah, Gaia kills Gravik. I'm okay with that. And meanwhile, at the hospital where the president is, I love this, Rhodes, Skrull Rhodes, whose name is actually Rava. Rava's held up at gunpoint by Sonya Falsworth, while the real Nick Fury arrives. And so they do kind of have this Western standoff of sorts. They're all trying to convince the president of their causes. Rava's like, look, we gotta attack Russia because they attacked us, trying to start World War III and all that. We even see the missile getting ready to launch. But then Rava tries to pull a fast one on everyone and ends up getting shot in the head by Nick Fury. So alright, great. The truth is revealed to President Ritson. And so with the deaths of Gravik and Rava, we do in fact have victory! The Skrulls' secret invasion is over. But here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you can't have conflict resolution without fallout. I mean, sure, yeah, we do see that all the Skrull prisoners are freed, including Everett Ross and the real Rhodes, and the scientist Rosa Dalton, and everyone else, which is great, I'm relieved, although I do wonder exactly how long Rhodes was kept prisoner in there. We don't get the answer to that. Oh well, I hope we do learn sometime down the line. Here's hoping. But yeah, you want to talk about some fallout? How about the president's declaration of war against all extraterrestrials now? Yeah, he was traumatized by that attack, as anyone should be, and so he's like, you know what? Fuck it all. All aliens, all off-world born beings are now considered enemies. Which, I mean, dude, that's a pretty big statement there. And that does make me think ahead. I look at the rest of Phase 5, and apart from the Marvels, none of the other entries for the rest of Phase 5 really involve extraterrestrials. So I'm guessing we will see the effects of the fallout from this declaration, I'm guessing in Phase 6 somewhere. Most likely. And then there's a scene where Gaia is approached by Sonya Falsworth. Now, this is really interesting. Falsworth is basically like, alright, yeah, Ritson is in the wrong. Your people, Gaia, are going to need a leader to help them against Ritzen's declaration of war. Basically saying that Sonya, on behalf of MI6, I assume, wants to go to war against the President of the United States? I don't know why, but for some reason I think this might lead into Thunderbolts somehow. I don't know, like just the fact that Sonya Falsworth is recruiting Gaia for something, kind of like how Val has been recruiting people. I don't know, I just find the two situations very similar. They're probably not related though. But yeah, I do wonder where and when we're gonna see these two characters again. The scene does leave it open for them, so I'm totally down to see them again. I want to see where that goes. I'm really curious, I'm not gonna lie. So big props to that. And the series ends with Nick Fury convincing Vara, who is Priscilla Fury, to come with him back up to Saber. Apparently to discuss some sort of peace summit that the Kree are suddenly proposing? That seems kind of out of nowhere. This must be leading directly into the Marvels. So now I'm curious, alright, is Vara gonna have a cameo in the Marvels maybe? I wouldn't be opposed to that. And so up they go. Farewell, Nick Fury. See you in November. So, in conclusion, Secret Invasion I thought was pretty damn cool. I will say I felt this finale was a little rushed, as is kind of a trend in Disney Plus MCU finales. But as a whole, as far as Nick Fury MCU stories go,
one of the best, man. One of the best.
Yeah, you said it. Although, no post-credits scene? Really? This has to be the first MCU installment in a long time, probably years, to not have a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene or any credit scene of any kind. Nowhere to be seen. That's really baffling to me. Although, of course, that doesn't ruin the entire thing. Gotta give props to Chris Bowers and his score. I do really like that Nick Fury theme, that da 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 da. Really dramatic, you know, it's nice. As for how the events of this series could lead into the future, of course I see this mostly tying in with the Marvels, which comes out in a few months in November. This could also lead somehow to the events of Armor Wars, with Rhodey being freed. And like I said, this could maybe lead into the events of Thunderbolts somehow. We shall see. But yeah, I really like the grittiness of this series. I thought it was awesome. Not sure how big of an impact it's gonna have on the overall multiverse saga in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I guess we will find out somewhere later down the line. Time will tell. So, Secret Invasion Episode 6, the finale titled Home. Have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? How do you think the events of the series will tie into the multiverse saga in the MCU? What impact do you think it'll have, if any? Just what are your theories and predictions? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!